We set the mood. Let me set the mood. Lean it back just a little bit. Set the mood. You guys, give me just a quick second. All right. We got it all figured out, baby. We got it all figured out. So, I got a very interesting intro for you guys. Just an observation as we wait for people to get in here. We're gonna let some people get in here before we get started with even the intro. But hopefully you guys are having a good Tuesday, a good start of your week. Hopefully everything's going right for you. Hopefully your boss ain't bitching about too much. So hopefully you guys are doing just fine. Let some people get in here. If you're watching the replay, might want to skip forward a couple minutes because we're gonna cook tonight. We're gonna cook to about 9 p.m. tonight. If the people show up and people want to support this and the people want to hear this. And so I'm going to break down when did in our generation, because every generation is different, but in our generation, what was the pivotal point that caused everything to change? So you guys want to stay tuned for that. So let's see. Oh no, I did not mean to do that. I did not mean to do that. I didn't mean to do that. Let me go back. Yep, so what's going on, guys? As you guys come in here, hit the like button for me before we get into the live stream. It's gonna be tonight's live is gonna be really interesting. Before we get into the live stream, it's gonna be tonight's live. What's going on? We got people coming in here. What's going on? Whiskers, Tolcha. What's going on, man? What's going on? Hopefully you guys are having a good Tuesday, and I don't know why it's not allowing me to scroll. There we go. Scroll down. Scroll down. Scroll down there, partner. You guys support. All right, let's get into this, man. Let's see. Let's get into this. Oh man. So I just pinned any ways you guys want to support the show. All the ways you can are at the pinned comments. We got the Cash App right there. Or you can do super chat. Whichever way is whatever dollar amount is worth it to you guys. I'm not forcing any of you guys to donate. I know times is hard, but if you do donate, you will get shouted out and your message will be read aloud. But anyway, so we live in a crazy world. We live in an extremely crazy world. Yeah, it is Taco Tuesday, ain't it? I just had some tacos. That's crazy. Some bacon and egg tacos. But we live in a crazy world, guys. And I'm going to give you some observations that I've recently been having just in my apartment complex. And this just goes to show you the mindset of today's women, right? It's absolutely ridiculous. And so I don't know if you guys have been noticing this around you guys as well. And this is just the intro. We're not gonna get into the live stream just yet. What's going on? We got Nicholas in the building. The players have entered the chat. So I'll read your message shortly, Nicholas. Let me get into this intro. So, bruh, so I keep noticing thought mommies. Now, a lot of you guys are like, Miles, what are you talking about? Thought mommies. Let me explain. So, in my definition of a thought mom is a mom that has children. She has, but she's alone. And she dresses scantily clad. She's always revealing her body, even though she could have a child or multiple children. Sometimes she can be in a relationship. Sometimes, most of the time, she's a single mother. And so I call these thought mommies. And as you guys come in here, hit that like button for me, double tap the screen. So I'm increasingly noticing a whole bunch of thought mommies. And this is crazy to me because you figure that once a woman has a child, that she would have some sense of decency. You figure that, hey, I was having all this casual intercourse before. It's time for me to settle down now. I have a child. It's time for me to wind it down now. That makes sense. But apparently, these women today, they'll have one, two, three, four, five children, and they'll still be casually having intercourse, dressing scantily clad. Like I was recently I had parked out like the last night I had parked my car, or I was just getting into my car to go to the gym late night. And this woman and her child comes out, and the woman is dressing in booty shorts. And she has her son walking right beside her. And I'm just like, you're a thought mommy. You're a thought mommy. Guys, it can be a tough pill to swallow, but this is real. We have to come to the realization that some of our moms were 304s. We always talk about these women, this and that. They feminists, they 304s. Sometimes your mom fits that exact same archetype. Your sister fits that exact same archetype. And so we don't have to go very far to find where feminism has penetrated in our own world. We have feminists in our family. We have, people in school that we go to, and we're gonna get into that in just a second when we come to, you know, dating has changed. When did dating start to change? We'll get into that shortly. But I just had to come in and talk about that with you guys. So I'm like, man, just because a woman is a single mom, or just because she's a married woman or in a relationship or has a baby daddy, that does not mean that she's going to stop her 304 ways. So, yeah, that's just the intro, though. We got to get into this live stream. Let me read what my man Nicholas has to say. He said, "I talked to a shorty in the street. She was going back to work. I asked for her work. She said, dancer at the script club. Offered me hour in back room for $65. I said that sounds nice, but I'd rather not be part with my cash." That is crazy, Nicholas. See, a lot of you guys think we're making this stuff up about women today. We have Nicholas right here in the chat that is dealing with women currently. And I've seen this stuff. You guys have seen this stuff. If you're actually in the field dealing with women, yeah, guys, there's a monetized woman is the real thing. They're in college. They're young women. Look at the David situation with the that case, that criminal case. That woman was under 15 years old, and she's around being under these older men getting smashed and ultimately got her life ended. And so women, they once they get out, they get promiscuous and all that stuff early, it's a wrap for them, bro. It's a wrap for them. And so Nicholas just gave us a real life story in the chat. You guys can read it right now, where he said that, you know, this woman basically looked like an average woman. And I have a video coming out Friday, by the way, addressing this exact thing. So you guys stay tuned for that. But guys, you be approaching women thinking that they normal everyday women and they be, 304s, SEX workers, scrippers. Yeah, and Nicholas right, she was about 18, 19. Guys, you think you get guys, pay attention. This is why I'm here. This is why I'm here. This is why I'm here. You guys think that just because a woman is younger means that she's more innocent. Hell no. These women be 304s before they even get 18 years old. Why do you think by the time she goes to college, this she just lets loose because she was already doing it. She just had to sneak and do it. Now she can do it in the open. She's away from mom and dad, if she even had mom and dad to watch over her. And just because she has two parents, they don't mean that she's not doing any nefarious stuff. This FYI. You guys will be like, she came from a two-parent household. Guys, that don't mean nothing. I know women that will come over on the first night and get smashed out. I know this woman in college, and she came over on the first night, and she was like, "Yeah, my parents have a house in Puerto Rico." So it don't matter. That ain't stopping them from being 304s, guys. You guys got to stop creating blind spots when it comes to these women. You have to. Nick was right. She was hot, but all about the money, drink, drug. Can't say that on YouTube. I suppose most likely. Yeah, absolutely, bro. And the woman that I made a video about today that's coming out on Friday. She's really attractive too. 25, already making lots of money. So, um, yeah, guys, just because she's a younger woman doesn't mean that she's a better woman. These women be 24 years old, already been ran through, they done lived 2, 3 different lives already. And so, guys, if they're getting into this stuff at 18, 19, 20 years old, and she's single at 35, think about all the mileage and body count. Guys, some of these women be having body counts in their 50s in college, in that 4 to 5 year period, just in college. 18 to about 22, 23. They don't stop. Feminism, they don't want to settle down until their late 20s. So, guys, we're talking about the average woman today probably has a body count of about 50 to 60 bodies. That's not out of the realm of possibility, guys. The average woman probably has at least 20 bodies, at least. And that's on the minimum level, that's the conservative level. She was offering me on the street for lap for an hour in the back room. Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. And I'm not that kind of dude to where, you can just, just bend it over and, we can get right to it. I ain't that kind of dude. But I appreciate you, Nicholas, for giving us that get clear my throat real fast. For giving this real life experience and game. Now, let's get into this real live stream. When dating truly changed. And I want people on the live stream right now, and I want people, we talked about this kind of a little bit Sunday night, but I want people on the replay and people on the live to talk about in the chat or in the comments section, when did you notice that dating took a turn for the worst? When did you begin to notice that women began to change their behaviors, their entitlement, everything began to change? And I'm going to tell you what, from my generation, older Gen Z, technically a millennial. We're technically millennials, and that's not anything to brag about. We relate more to the millennials. The older millennials relate more to Gen X. The younger, so anyways, we're not gonna get into the generational breakdown, but I'm gonna give you my take as to what happened within my generation and what I began to notice in women early in college and what I think started it. So you guys stay tuned for that in just a second. Well, we got Trey Preston here. He says, "Bro, he's spamming the chat." He said, "Bro, I'm going through so much with my wife. Literally tired, bro. I'm about to let her live her life. Sometimes you gotta let bygones be bygones, bro. Let her go. Let her go. Let them wild horses run." Nicholas writes, "I've noticed teens 22 sleep around a lot, and then they scan for wealthy guys." And that's the thing too. By the time she gets 30 years old, she didn't win. She didn't did everything, guys. She didn't went over to overseas. She didn't got a train ran over her. She didn't slept with the big Johnson guy. She didn't slept with the tall guy, the athletic guy, uh, the business owner, the CEO. And so when your little average ass comes in there and being simping ass, that's the only thing she hadn't got out of her entire life is a simp that will get down on one knee and marry her. She experienced everything else. Getting ran through, traveling, getting flown out, getting all of her different pleasures fulfilled. Only thing she hasn't gotten is a person to take her serious in a relationship. And you're gonna put your life on the line for a 30-some-year-old woman that if you knew what she was doing 5, 10 years ago, you would run away heavily from her. But let's get into this live, man. So our generation, my generation, took a turn for the worse. I noticed that dating changed for me drastically whenever I got to college. And looking back on it, you begin to realize that some of this stuff was happening in high school. You were just too young to realize it. And depending on who you were in high school, like for me, I was a successful athlete, very popular. So getting women and getting different stuff wasn't. You're not gonna see the problems in dating if you're in that environment, that social environment, enclosed, private social environment, and you have high social status. You're not gonna see the problems. I noticed it whenever I was just a regular student going to college at Texas A&M, and I was like, man, really what it was, I was thrown off because you go from such a high to average in a short amount of time. And so you're a freshman, sophomore in college, you're a low man on totem pole. Nobody really wants to talk to you. You're weird, you're scrawny, your body ain't fully developed. But nonetheless, some guys, us guys that get women, we constantly push through the barriers despite the rejection and the age and all this ridiculous stuff. Anyways, I noticed the change in behavior in women in college. Now, what we have to realize is feminism has always been there. It's been there before I was even alive. Feminism has affected each and every generation a little bit differently. The single mom thing was already becoming a thing with the boomers and the Gen Xers and all this stuff. And he said smart women aren't at the gas station. Just what do you? Of course not. Anyways, so I began to notice that, man, the level of flaking, the level of ghosting, all this stuff was beginning to happen to me, and it's never happened before. And to be truthfully honest, I don't think that happened to any of the older men. Not saying that they didn't deal with some levels of ghosting and all that stuff, but whenever I would talk to older men about this stuff back then, they didn't understand where we were coming from, which lets me know that dating has shifted. They no longer identify with the shift in dating. And this is why older people, to a degree, that they don't really know what they're talking about. Not saying they're out in left field or anything like that. Some of these guys are really experienced. They know women really well, but some of them actually are out of touch, and they don't recognize how the game has shifted in just the last 15, 20 years. So he said, go find yourself a good one in the right place. Where? Guys, you guys come with the same ridiculous talking points, bro. Where? Find a good one where? In the church? With all them single baby mamas? Where, bro? You guys sit up on here on these lives and in the comment section and just say, just find a good one. I'm sure a lot of men that are in divorce thought they found a good woman. It's straight up that even below average women gets lots of attention from a lot of guys. So they feel that they can replace us. And that's what I began to notice as well with the pivot in dating. So this is what I think happened in my generation that changed dating drastically. So you guys remember Sunday, we were talking about, a lot of you guys were saying years, anywhere from 2011 to about 2016, 2017. I noticed this in 2017, 2018, but you guys were noticing it much early. I think that was the years and I don't think, I know, that's the years where social media exploded. Well, shout out to you, Rachel Cook. Shout out to you. I just want you to know that you're a rare breed. I hear a lot of stories about Christians and church people, and it's really disheartening and saddening to me that I'm not going to get into that. That's a Patreon exclusive type stuff. But I've seen a lot of stuff and heard a lot of stuff from what church people see other church people do that is absolutely insane to me. But we're not going to get into that. But shout out to you, Rachel, for being in a relationship and being a God-fearing woman. You are a rare breed. Christian chick. I got a date tomorrow with a 27-year-old Christian chick. Anyways, social media for my generation really is the part, that year, that the 2010s, that mid-year of the 2010s, 2013, the 2017, those middle years where social media exploded was when we began to notice the big difference in dating. It had shifted. It had shifted in a different direction. Before we had phones and, phones were just being made and but before then you guys remember you had the flip phone, the slide and touch, the Blackberries. If you had a Blackberry or you had a slide and touch in school, you was a man and all this stuff. But Apple, iPhone, social media, Instagram, hell, even MySpace. I think MySpace was in the early to mid 2000s. You guys let me know. It was even happening then. That was the very start of it. But it began to uh, take off in the mid 2010s. The iPhone, the social media, Instagram, and start to hit all these different dating apps. Excuse me, all these different dating apps begin to take off. Tinder. So yeah, guys, that was the pivotal moment that where women shifted and the dating culture has shifted. Because you got to think that was the like you just said, Nicholas, that was the start of hookup culture. And the reason why we know this is because, like Nicholas said earlier, overweight women were getting entitled. Why were they getting such entitlement? It's because of social media. They were getting secret DMs by attractive guys. They were getting matches on dating apps by attractive guys and getting flown out and getting smashed out on the first night by these tall 6'2" athletic athletes on campus just because they met online through DMs or direct messaging or social media or dating apps. And so you weren't going to see this out in public, guys. You got to put the two and two together. So that's why these women have a sense of entitlement in their average and their overweight and their whatever. It's because they're getting a lot of sexual attention from attractive guys behind the closed scenes. You don't see the stuff in public really that much at this point. At that point, you didn't see an overweight woman with a 6'3" guy that's in shape like we do today, where it's fully accepted. Back then, it was still taboo. So, they didn't want to be seen with these overweight women in public, but they would invite them on a slow Tuesday at 10 p.m. at night, sneak her in, blow her freaking back out, have her orgasm all over the place, have her legs shaking and all kind of ridiculous stuff, put her in an entire trance, and she'll fall in love with this guy and get her heart broken. And so that's when we begin to notice this stuff. That's when the shift started. And before we get into more of this stuff, let me read some comments from you guys. You guys are coming in. I really appreciate it. If you guys want to support check the pinned message. Alan, what's going on? Alan, Jazz, Patty, Rachel, that's a blessing. Shout out to her. The educational system failed the American society. Talk about it. I mean, we haven't performed through every metrics compared to the world. We haven't performed good at all. We're like in the 20s in the world. And hell, we won the mathematics thing recently, but hell, it's all Chinese Americans, not the actual Americans. And I associate callous behavior with lack of academic resources. People can boast about how mature they are when the water is under their chin. Okay. Hookup culture has become the norm the last decade. It's kind of dying in a way because there's new statistics out that saying Gen Z is in a sex recession. Now, it's definitely in a sex recession for men, but it's in a sex recession for men because men just don't give a shit no more. They don't care. Most men today, the young dudes in Gen Z, I'm talking about actual Gen Z, not the older Gen Z where we're technically millennials and identify with that generation more. The actual Gen Z, like 22, 23, 24, 20, 23, 24, they're actually checked out of society. They just want to go home and play video games, uh, you know, maybe work a job. But like they're completely checked out of society. They're done with women. They're sick of it, all of it. And so it's a new shift now. Hookup culture is a little bit of the norm, but people are kind of over it now. Now don't get it twisted. People are still hooking up. Don't get it twisted. But it's not near as bad, guys. We were young. Me, I don't know how old are you, Nicholas? I don't know how old you guys are in here that are in here right now. I'm 27. I just turned 27. I didn't realize it in that moment, guys, but and we probably in that moment during those times we didn't see it directly. We just noticed a different change. But this stuff, 32, yeah, see, you're right in that area where the millennials, and this is why, I'm older, Gen Z, so millennials, we relate technically. Anyways, in that moment, we didn't see it. Jazz Patty said, I've never tried a dating app. I'm an 80s baby. So what are you, Gen X? You about 40, 50 years old? It just doesn't seem normal. It isn't normal, but it's the norm now. It's the norm now. Hell, Jazz Patty, let me know what you think. When you go out in public, ain't nobody approaching women. Ain't nobody even talking to anybody. You gonna have to get on a dating app today. She writes, but I've heard persons having real success. Yeah, I've heard people get into marriages and relationships from dating apps as well. But from my experiences, you're going to be filtering through a lot, or either, these people have low standards for what they're looking for. Because I don't see a whole bunch of good quality people on the dating apps. Now, granted, if you want to just, get your sex in, then yeah. He said reject apathy. I've also never used a dating app. Well, shout out to you guys. I mean, you can definitely still get women and stuff without using the dating apps, but a lot of these people today, I mean, we live in an era today, guys, where people talk to Chat GPT like it's their friend. So, the young generation of people, they're on Instagram, they're on these dating apps, they're socially awkward. You'll see this stuff whenever you go out and you go to fast food or wherever you're eating, and you see these young people working the register or just in your co-worker in space or whatever. These young people, they don't know how to talk properly at all. They said find the right woman. Yeah, where are the right women at? Where are the right women at? I, guys, I don't know what you guys are looking at. I don't know what you guys are looking at. You guys just say these broad statements, just find the right woman. What does that mean? Where? Be more specific. Those who never experienced an adult life that was at least for a time uncushioned by wealth may never fully appreciate how ignorant they are of their own ignorance. Is he intellectually bashing me? That's very artful of you. It's impossible to speak for all of them. I never said all of them. I've had great experiences with women, but because I knew they had the right mentality, like I said, trouble people that live by the day will throw their morals to get by. I mean, I don't struggle to get women. My standards apparently are just higher than a lot of you guys. I'm not getting into a marriage with a woman that's been ran through. That's a feminist. That's not gonna happen, bro. Not for me. Marriage is an extremely important decision. That can bankrupt you. That can bankrupt you mentally, emotionally. Guys, this is an important decision in your life. You need to know about women. You need to know about what marriage truly is from legally. It's not about just love. This is a huge decision for you in your life. And so you guys, you have to have great standards for marriage. And a lot of women today don't qualify. She said church and church, really? Have you must be new to the channel. You obviously haven't checked out my videos where I show you footage of women in the church and break down as to why you can't find that many women in the church. Most women in the church are single mothers. They messed their life up, and now they want to find God after they had two children from two different baby daddies. And they're feminists and they dress in the church very scantily clad. Yeah. You guys go to the church if you want to. I find it so easy to chat to women wherever. It's easy when they like you back. Yeah, and Nicholas, you're in shape. You're very good looking, and we're not socially awkward. I talk to women all the time in person as well, and in the interaction, a lot of guys really have lost that social, um, that social vibe to let the woman be comfortable. Like I be talking to these women guys, and like I be asking them about their dating experiences, and I'm like, these dudes be doing some ridiculous stuff. To a degree, I'll be like, I see why y'all hate men because the dudes don't have no, they're not cool. They don't have no finesse no more. I'm like, bruh, I see why some of you guys, anyways, the right woman where? Talk about it, introvert. Women who love Jesus are safer bet, bro. Women who love Jesus, guys, you're not talking to somebody that's just guys. I was raised in the church. How are you going to tell me? I used to go to church on Saturday, song fest. You had Sunday morning, you had afternoon service. You had sometimes you had if you had a revival, you had Saturday through Thursday church every day. You had Wednesday night Bible class. Like guys, I know these church women. You guys act like I haven't seen a church woman that got pregnant in high school. That's a real story. Excuse me. That's a real story. A high school woman that I went to church with got pregnant, brought the child to church, embarrassed her entire family. You guys act like I don't see the preacher, calling different women over into his different into his layer. You act like I don't see the people that's singing the music getting a little too tight with each other and their spouses are in the audience. Like, come on, guys. I'm not new to this shit. It's not religion, it's their affiliation in society. I mean, that's the problem, dude. They the society has infiltrated the church. It seems like my standards are set higher than ever before. They should be. Exactly. I agree marriage shouldn't be taken lightly. Yeah, it shouldn't be. Women who come from a good family who love Jesus are the safest bet, bro, by far. I mean, I agree with that. But I've seen women that have come from both and they still get smashed out and they still have get ran through. And so how are you going to save her when her friend group that's feminist field, she gets a lot of her pop culture from feminist field stuff to a degree. Her mom was a feminist. How is she going to stop it? How are you going to stop her from getting influenced into this hookup culture when she's being influenced in every direction to get into it to get involved with it? Even church women are not good either. Don't be fooled by them. Exactly, bro. Like guys, I feel like a lot of you guys, all it takes for a woman to get with you is she just has to be attractive and say she's a Christian. Like, do you guys not understand the levels of lying and manipulation and deception women are capable of giving to you? They'll say whatever to get the relationship. They'll say whatever to do to get whatever they want, guys. There's guys, women are not black and or not it's not black and white. They're not black and white. Women are extremely complicated. And most of you guys are not equipped to deal with the level of deception that most of these women are capable of giving you. This is why whenever you find out who she truly is after you have a child, after you get married, social media made the bench so high, it took the courage out of men to allow themselves to live. You don't have to be somebody to be out there, but you do have to be independent. It took the courage out of men. I mean, it's just not a rational decision anymore. It's a lot to lose. I didn't say church. I said good family, love Jesus. I mean, that is religion. Go to the church. Um, I mean, isn't Jesus religion? Don't you go to church and Christian church? You guys talk about Jesus. How are you going to say I didn't say church? So a lot. Anyways, he said read and comprehend, bro. It depends on church, and you'd be surprised at how many young women. Because not every church is the same. I didn't say they were the same, and I'm not saying that you can't find any good women in the church. I'm just saying that it's decreasing, guys. Guys, I talk to these women in the church. They're hooking up with each other. You guys act like I'm just making this shit up. I was talking to a woman recently, and she said there's a guy at the church that she was going to, and the guy that was doing the audio for the singers, he would invite the women over and say, hey, we should do vocals. You should make a vocals, have some produce some vocals over this track. And he'd invite them over by themselves. And then he would, seduce them and smash them. And this is a guy in the church that works for the church. And these are women that are in the church that sing for the church. And then there's another story where I heard where this woman or these women are all sleeping with the same guy in the church. Guys, we act like this stuff isn't a real thing. You said you've been observant like I have throughout. Bro, you have to be. Guys, you have to be observant. You have to guard your heart. Guys, you have to. A woman will break you down, bro. It's been dudes that deleted themselves because they couldn't take the fact that their woman was capable of doing what they did to them, cheating, betrayed them, all kind of ridiculous stuff. He said, "I'm an OG, son. Don't ask me how to fish. Ask the successful fisherman." Bro, I didn't smash over 50 plus women. Stop it. No, I wouldn't say that. I'm just here to smash. I'm not searching for the unicorn woman. Shout out to you, man. It's getting to that point to where there ain't no unicorns anymore. Look for empathy, kindness to others, quality of her parents, understood her past before you put it in. Hey, I agree with you. I agree with you. I'm just here to tell you that a woman, excuse me, can still have those things and still fall victim to the pure pressure of society. But you haven't said anything wrong. That's generally where you are supposed to look, but that don't mean that they're going to turn out that way. Thank Zuckerberg for Facebook and these founders of all their social media platforms because we wouldn't know how women are moving without these tools. I mean, shout out to them. Women are saying this stuff, guys. It's so accepted that women don't have any shame anymore. They'll get on the live stream, they'll record and tell you guys that we're not building with you guys. We'll tell you guys I'm not cooking and cleaning with you guys. They will tell you to your face that they're feminists. And you guys will still go out there and date them and marry them up and then get mad that she's not a traditional woman. Places like churches and communities with reputation of being very open-minded places for everyone can often become slandered by imposters that reap the benefits of the affiliation and excusing their actions. I agree. Change only breaks brittle. There are some soft, weak men in here. Man up. So yeah, guys, according to Half Hawkman, he's like, hey, man up and get married, bro. Man up and get married to the state. Get a marriage license with the state, even though you can get married and not have a legal marriage with the state. I mean, that's in the Bible. But why do women push that they want, a legal marriage? It's because they can get a whole bunch of benefits when the shit goes wrong. So God ain't in legal marriage with the state. God is in marriage, but he ain't in legal marriage with the state. The state and religion are not supposed to go hand in hand with each other. Play the game to fit in, to give them what they want, what you got, what you want, like two puzzle pieces. And so back to the live stream, guys. A lot of you guys have been having some thoughts, and I really appreciate your engagement. Even if we disagree, it's healthy discourse to get different perspectives. But hookup culture in that 2010s, that mid 2010s era is when I noticed in this generation, from my generation, that things began to um, spiral out of control. And guys, I want you guys to notice. I went to school at Texas A&M University. That is supposed to be a Christian conservative place, and it was extremely hedonistic when I was there. And so these different titles and these different things that stand for what they stand for didn't mean anything to these young people. So that's when we begin to see the entitlement from the over validation because they were getting all their attention and they're getting all this non-sexual attention from all these men on the social media, making them entitled, making them making plain Janes and average looking women look down on the average man, which is what gives them an inflated ego to overestimate themselves and for them to devalue you. And you know, these are the kind of women that do this stuff, these plain Janes and these chubby women. These are the women that complain that, you know, these women, these men, all they want to do is just, you know, have intercourse and all they do is cheat. Well, the reason why they're cheating on you, baby, is because you're dating out of your league. You're chubby and 5'2", and he's 6'3" with six-pack abs, making six figures. Of course, he was going to cheat on you. And so she'll pretend and be crying on the internet and to her friends that she's shocked that he would ever do this. And it's just like, you and five other women want the same guy. So of course he was gonna cheat on you. But this is the delusion, and this is the delusion of women today. They think that the options that they have, the majority of their options that they have today, are actual relationship um, material options, and the majority, 90% of them, are just guys that want to smash. And they'll do whatever strategy it takes. They'll be the nice guy and play the friend role and play the long game to get into the woman's pants, or some guys will be more aggressive with it. So he said, "Hey, young homie, so many things are possible just as long as you don't allow them. They're impossible." Why is the truth? Why is the truth so pessimistic to you guys? Hey, for you guys that are watching in here that disagree with me, I'm not an incel, bro. I attract women from all different races throughout my entire life. I get a lot of good stuff out of women, and not just the physical. And that's because I ask these women more than just their bodies. But guys, if you put these women through a proper vetting process, they fail it. Do you have any idea what's going on in the world? Like, bro, introvert, this shit's getting worse every day. We're on a warp speed to a downward trajectory. And of course, the average person's not going to see it until it's too late. You're not going to see it until the civil unrest is right in front of their face, right? They're not going to see it until it's a gun pointed in their face. Because most people don't have vision. Ironically, just wanting to give a woman a good time makes her want you to be her man. Exactly. Talk about how women are directly, because of pragmatic and see for yourself. Get to meet them and figure them out, bro. Why do you think I can break women down so extensively, man? Because I've dealt with so many of them. Come on, man. Answer why question, bro. You guys are crazy. Why are you guys so triggered? If you guys disagree, I mean, are you guys married? Let's just get this. I'm about to kill your argument right now. Are you guys that are arguing with me telling me that women, there's a lot of good women in the world? Are you guys married right now? We had a woman in here that came in here earlier that said she just got married. Shout out to her. She's actually living out what she's talking about. But for you guys in here that are talking about relationships and all this stuff, and you find a good woman and all that, are you guys married? Because if you ain't married and you hadn't found a good relationship that discredits you, he said, "Thank you for hiding the hairline, man. My hairline is better than most of you guys. What are you talking about?" And never been married either. In other words, allow yourself to see their flaws. In other words, a fit man with six-pack abs wouldn't stick around in a relationship with a chubby woman much longer. It's common sense. And that's the delusion that women can't snap themselves out of, because they've dealt with so many of these guys, and they're too stupid to realize that, hey, these attractive guys just want to smash you because you're making it so easy for them. And she thinks that if she, she sucks his D, a little bit longer, and gets him to ejaculate, that's gonna make him fall in love. And it's not, because he got that same stuff from 5 different women. I've been around females for years but never dated them. Be honest, son. Are you also on the down low? Bro, y'all are insane with the hate today, bro. What's going on with y'all? These are the same dude, these internet dudes, the same dudes that can't pull a woman from any other race. I'll pull dark, light-skinned black women, thick, skinny, in shape, Latinas, white girls, blonde, blue-eyed, white girls, bro. Come on, man. Y'all niggas is crazy, bro. Y'all niggas is funny, bro. Real talk. This is why I'm not offended, and this is why this is really funny to me, because you guys don't really know me. See, I know Nicholas is a player and he deals with women for real, because we identify with. He'll say something. I'll be like, I've experienced that. I've dealt with that. I've seen that. Dealing with several women at once works in keeping you always with someone, and the women view you as a catch, bro. That's social proof. Exactly. The foolish understand the words, the wise understand the sense. Oh, well, I'm sorry to hear that you lost your wife to cancer. I'm sorry to hear that. Whoever asked that dumb question is not giving an answer. He's just saying stuff to try to guilt trip people. Yeah, bro. They're trying to derail the show, the live stream. But yeah, guys, a lot of this stuff was happening right before our eyes, and we couldn't put it together, but we felt something was off during that time frame. And so the entitlement came because they have a whole bunch of abundance of options online, because the social media was beginning to take off. And a lot of you guys would don't understand that some of these women, they were DMing some of these guys as well. You got to understand that social media really shrunk the world. So we automatically think that a man DMs a woman, and that's the natural way, because in real life a man is supposed to approach a woman in real life and get her number and all that stuff. And typically that is the way it goes down. But a lot of you guys would be shocked at how many women will DM these guys and get smashed out. And it's all because she initiated the whole interaction. You got to understand, the conversation goes both ways. There's some men in this world that the women go approach them, they talk to them, they go get their attention. So, what's going on, Roger? So, what's going on? Morality has died off pretty bad. Talk about it. I mean, it's non existent. There's no shame. People do whatever. I've learned so much the last 2 years from dating and approaching women. Bro, Nicholas, you might need to start a channel on cold approach, bro. Because a lot of dudes over complicating the stuff. It ain't that hard, bro. Just go up and say, hey, what's up? Say the flirting piece. First of all, it's a lot of things you gotta have. It's not just game and mouthpiece. You gotta actually look good. You gotta go through the whole thing. And sometimes the game will be pristine. You'll be cleaned up with the best cologne on, with the best swag, driving the best car, and still get rejected, because that's just how the game goes. And so I want you guys to realize that just because you have money, or just because you're tall, or just because you're attractive and you're in shape, and that don't mean that you won't get rejected. A lot of dudes still get rejected. You gotta just accept that for what it is. And so we're gonna wind down the live stream. You guys give me your last little bit of thoughts and comments as we wind down. I'll just be engaged in the chat. I pretty much talked about what we need to talk about today when it comes to dating and where I think it changed. Yeah, like Roger said, you got to eat good, work out, and look good, bro. Look good, feel good, play good. Anything works and better than trial and error. Exactly. You need the right energy, the right approach, be authentically your best self. Talk about it. And that's the other thing. Guys think that they can fake their way into being some kind of alpha male and confident. You guys, you can't fake confidence. You can't fake swag. You can't fake any of that. Being a real one, that's it. Bruh, Nicholas, he said, you know what attracts women? Authenticity. Being a real one. That's it. See, he had me until he said, that's it. Authenticity is the only thing. Yeah, yeah, I don't know who he was talking to, introvert. I don't know if he's talking to me or from a comment that you had. Who cares, bro? Every man has their own strategies and their own, way of dealing with today's marketplace. But nonetheless, there is no I want you guys to realize there is no perfect solution with women. You will get used and abused, and that just come with the game. You can try to mitigate the errors and the mistakes as much as possible, but women are intelligent. They good deceivers and manipulators. You're gonna get got by a woman. He said, "I'm old and rich. I was happier when I was young and poor." Don't waste your youth, bruh. You're old and rich. Come on, man. Really? You rich without a profile picture, man? Talk about it, Roger. See, we got real dudes in here that get women for real. Nicholas and Roger. Roger writes, I used to be 250 pounds. Um, all right, we'll see you half halt. I used to be 250 pounds. Now I'm 190, and women stare at me like I'm a snack. Bro, attractive, in shape men that know how to dress is such, the bar is so low. It truly is. Guys, all you have to do really is just get in shape and just, color match your clothes correctly, and you'll get a woman. The bar is so low, and these women are so thirsty that if you just get in shape, you're gonna smash a lot of women, bro, because they be that thirsty. And there's a lot of dudes that's losers today and checked out and don't want to do shit. Yeah, they wouldn't even unless you got money, introvert. But yeah, but even if you got money, they're just using you for your money. You're not attractive because you're out of shape. I'm out to have fun with women, and that's sort of man they love to see often. Yeah, absolutely. Nicholas. Girls just want to have fun, bro. The moment that you start taking the shit too serious, what you're looking for, what kind are you looking for? Relation? Nah, bro. You just killed the whole vibe. Go out, have some drinks, have some fun. Smash her, bro. That's what she wants, bro. How much women you smashed this week? That's irrelevant. This week, I'm not in that mode, bro, where I'm trying to get my numbers up. Yep, environment. See, I know Nicholas is a real dude to get women because he's saying all the right stuff. Numbers game. It is a numbers game. Right place, right time. And Bray said, just messing with you. Just let them know you have other women too, as well as your content, confident energy will address everything on point. Yeah, positioning is everything. Positioning is everything, bro. You got to go out. You got to look presentable. Like I got this black velvet long sleeve, bruh. I know as soon as I go out in public with that motherfucker on, it's a wrap. Yeah, talk about introvert. He trolling. Yeah, she was shit testing you, bro, and you passed the shit test, Nicholas. That's what that was. But anyway, guys, I appreciate Roger. I appreciate Nicholas. I appreciate introvert as usual. People that come in here and support the channel. We had some new people in here that were. I'm from Ohio. I don't think thirst women are worth it. Hey, whatever you think. Friends, nah, I always dress presentable unless I'm doing some type of work. Yeah, yeah. If I'm at work or something, I'm dressed for work. But anyway, guys, I appreciate some of the new guys in here arguing with me tonight. I appreciate the regulars, Nicholas Introvert and Roger that come in and support and watch the stream. It really means a lot for you guys to come in here and support consistently. Again, I do live streams every weekend, Saturday and Sunday and Tuesday. So you guys stay tuned for that. Let me read these last little bit of comments. He said, but just keep on trying, y'all. Don't put your head down and start thinking you're nothing. That's the wrong mentality to go. Yeah. Bad mentality. And I hope you guys you're not taking that away from what I'm talking about. I'm just telling you guys to, be aware and to always keep your thinking cap on when it comes to dealing with women. Don't think that, just because she has this and that she's a good woman. Give it time. She could be or she could not be. But again, I appreciate you guys. You guys have a good one. I'll see you guys this weekend around noontime or possibly in the morning time, either the morning or the noontime Saturday. We'll probably do a late night on Sunday again. So, see you guys this weekend. Check out my video that dropped today. Got another video dropping tomorrow, some more YouTube shorts. So you guys stay tuned for that. And I will see you guys in the next one, man. Peace.